Welcome back once again to ESL Pro League. The first map was a classic Polish beatdown of Mousesports, 16-5, no real chances there. Now it gets tougher because Mousesports now has to place VP on Nuke, and this might be the Polish side's best map. They have had a very good streak of wins on this map.
Speaking of like Polish beatdowns, have you seen that like team-based MMA? The Polish and Russian sides are quite good at that. It's on YouTube.
I have not.
It's quite hilarious.
Have you seen the remakes of like full medieval warfare with like knights and like full
They're doing
armor?
A boxing ring, don't they?
Yeah, like a giant giant ring, and they just go
pretty
at each
epic.
other. That's cool. We should do that.
Yeah. Just quickly on the B stream, the other game between North and Heroic on Overpass, overtime. Yeah, it could almost be over.
Yeah.
But talking about your point.
Yeah, talking
Nuke,
about Nuke being so strong for VP.
VP lost to Heroic. There was the segue.
Yep.
On Nuke in Poland. So it is a strong map for them, but they have had that blunder recently. Heroic did prove to be quite a decent Nuke team. I really like some of the innovation from VP early days of Nuke. They did a strategy where it was like a top execute to draw the mini and warehouse player to come towards that top site, and then they would push around the catwalk to ladder, and it was a really good strat. I quite liked it. They have good innovation on this, and if Bailey and Snacks were able to bring across that form we saw from the first map, with Mouse's struggles on this map, it could be another whitewash.
Bialy especially had a phenomenal Inferno holding down the fort. This map though, I mean, we saw an impeccable defense on Inferno. Matt, is it much the same on Nuke? Or is their strength the CT side, the T side?
I don't know. It used to be, sure. No, well, map in general, but it's not. I don't think any team right now is looking that convincing as a CT-sided defense. I think more and more teams are causing rotations. I think you have to create the CT movement. You have to take advantage of outside, either get smokes there every few rounds, try and get the guys at big garage to relocate, cause some confusion. Ramp, I still think needs to be utilized more, and we're starting to see more and more teams go there, and strictly for the same reason, because if you can get the guy at ramp to drop down early, which he ultimately has to do, you pull the player from heaven back over to turnpike, which then causes a rotation either down the vents or from the guy on outside to come back closer, which you can open up the map just by getting, it's very subtle gains, but map control. I think fast executions don't work right now as much as just creating movement on the CT side.
There's some little moves, like the thing that Magicsploit does where he nades open Squeaky and
that's pretty cool, yeah.
And he picks the hut. I agree with you on the ramp thing. There's a smoke that you can throw. It's underutilized, or I haven't seen it utilized that much, where you can actually isolate the player playing on the ramp or the back box and force him to either take a wider angle, or you can take just a duel with the rotator coming to ladder base. And that kind of stuff, I agree with you, needs to be utilized more, because it's not an easy pick, because you can get spammed down in that tight corridor, but it is something which I think teams are not ignoring, but still having a hard time utilizing at this point.
Yeah, and my point is you don't even necessarily need to win the duel on the guy at ramp. Like you're saying, if you can cause the rotation to, we call it turnpike, but if you can get him to come down from ladder, then you're creating a movement that takes away a guy potentially that was at heaven, or a guy that was watching outside, so you can exploit elsewhere.
We call it elbow.
Elbow. Does it have a funny bone?
No. Jason's just tickled right now.
I've got one, apparently.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, that. I mean, this is always a map that it seems like the best teams on it, teams like VP, teams like NIP, have always had very, very good CT side rotations, which is a lot of the strength of this map. So, it will be interesting to see if Mousesports can overcome some of their deficiencies on it. That's going to be tough. But to take us through that, to let us know, to guide us to see if Mousesports can do such a thing, it is going to be Lauren and Mitch.
Eventually.
Just Jason, no.
Yeah.
Never change.
Keep the
Jason,
camera on
you are
him,
beautiful.
actually. Given the last map, it might be better if we just leave Jason's head on and commentate the game in the background. It was a little bit of a struggle for Mousesports on that map. And what I guess is now compounded, and I think that what they touched on the desk, is that prior to this, prior to that last map being lost, Mousesports had only lost on Nuke. So it gets worse now.
Yeah, and you're playing VP, who are very, very good on this map as well. Even though they have suffered losses as of late on it, if you look overall, they're one of the teams that can always hold a very, very high standard on this sort of map. Cuban just practicing his smokes currently on the server, which is great to see. Don't know why he's having such a great time. Maybe another coach is going to make a comeback, who knows. But no, for now, it's an uphill struggle. Let's be very honest about this one. It's not going to be comfortable for Mousesports, but you've got to look at players like Oscar to pick up performance here. I'm not going to say it's completely AWP dependent, but if you've got a good AWPer, someone who's going to be very diligent on it, it's going to help you out. And then some. You look at the kind of more adaptive AWPers out there. They can really find roles to be very, very relevant in this. But we had a very quiet game from him before on Inferno, so he has to up the ante a little bit, get into this one. So good AWPing coming out from VP, very fluid, very based on how they feel on it. Passion, not the only one to pick it up as well. So
Yeah, Snacks had some good moments on it.
yeah, exactly. Snacks, very, very capable. So again, Mousesports need to get off to a better start than previous. they are still doing incredibly well in the overall league, but you don't want to see this being the first sign of weakness for them. This is a tough game, and VP's map pool so far, they've kind of walked into a bit of a tough one in this matchup.
Yeah, VP really won out on the map picks. There's no doubt about it. And we don't really know. We don't really know too much about the intricacies of Mousesports' play on Nuke. They were obviously playing some off-stream games as well up until this point, but you can see there obviously both times they played it in the Pro League, they have lost out on it. Now for VP, I remember the first time they picked up this map, actually. It was at ESL 1 Cologne against SK in was it the semi-final or the quarter-final. And SK had been playing that map sort of before them already and were pretty solid on it. And VP knew this. And I remember I got to run around and do some interviews at that event, just sort of be a bit of a gap fitter. And I went and chatted to Cuban after. I said, why'd you pick Nuke? He's like, well, we thought we'd be okay. We forgot that SK were really good on this map. And I'm like, all right, fair enough. So since then, the point is, since then, I'm going to bring it back. Virtus.pro worked on this map a lot. They really focused on integrating this into their effective map pool. And with Inferno coming back into the mix now, the game changing a lot in style, obviously with a bit of that UMP play and that AWP getting passed around a little bit more on the team, they're really finding their footing.
Yeah, and this is their 4th most played, but their highest win rate map overall. Inferno, actually, tell a lie, is their highest win rate, but they only played it twice, so they've won both of their games, of course. Now, Nuke, they played 8 times, and they sit on, what, 87% win rate. So these guys certainly are very, very diligent on this one. You know you're walking up against a bit of a giant when you play this map. And yeah, once Dust 2 got taken out of the map pool, it was just like, okay, VP's just gone from strength to strength. So yeah, aside from the loss to Astralis and Heroic, which were, sit in the record, they have a very clean run. They've only ever lost to Danish teams on this map, who certainly have it in their own map pool. It was Dignitas prior to that at the ESL Pro League season. It was like season 4. So, yeah, it's not going to be comfortable for Mousesports, I can imagine, unless they have something up this level. They have one player really perform. They need that kind of Nico effect, which I don't know if they have anymore, which is going to be an issue for them going forward. But the other thing you got to say about VP, which doesn't only apply to this map but many others, is the fact they are the king of fakes right now. They draw people left, right, and center. Anyone who's playing up against them is well aware of it as well. They are so very good at doing it, whether it be Mirage, Inferno, it doesn't matter. They are so good at trying to pull players to the wrong position at the wrong time, and then really kind of hammer home that they have the advantage wherever they go. And I'm wondering if we're going to see that here today. Something that if you ever talk to teams coming up against them, they have to keep that in the back of their minds because they're so good at it.
And of course, the ability to force rotations for Virtus.pro was something that was definitely more prevalent and probably is going to be a little bit more prevalent on a map like Inferno, where the bomb sites are a long way away from each other. On a map like Nuke, it's perhaps sometimes a little bit harder to punish a team for over-rotations or early rotations or anything of the sort. So be bearing that in mind as we look at this map. It'd probably be a little bit of a different approach or what VP does. Okay, Lol's got dual Berettas in this round, so I'm very interested to see how this works. Yeah, he's invested in. There's no armor to speak of for him. Spitty has the kit, so all right, you know what? I'm willing to see it, even though he's playing rafters with this as well. Bizarre. VP, what, the vent dive? Snacks? Wanted to vent dive? Not sure. Anyway, they're going to wrap around to the front, and Pasha already opens up with 2.
And look at this, all-encompassing hit here. Taz already working through that upper catwalk area. Going to get up towards Heaven. And he spots out the player on rafters. Lol absolutely bricks it. You can see him jump. Then nothing to be done with those dualies. It's down to Speedy and Christian. Christian did fine too, but overwhelmed eventually, and every single angle seemed to contain a Virtus.pro player. There was no respite for him. He had to just try and fight his way out of it, back to the wall. But Speedy on the long walk here does have a kit at least, but he has 3 players to get past, and VP are set up very nicely.
I'll touch on the dualies in a sec, Lauren. I do have a question for you, but yeah, you're going to love it too. But for now, Speedy's got a smoke and a kit. No armor. That's the problem here. Obviously, that's what happens when you buy that kit. He's going to make his way towards this upper site. Snacks just waiting from above to jump down, and he'll have his meal. So is there any argument that advocates the use of dual Berettas, especially from, like, I don't know, quite a range, like playing rafters, that you can think of?
They're actually, they are pretty strong, I'm not going to lie, but I wouldn't put them over anything else. You can just spam.
Taz.
You can just spam a lot. Taz has done it right back. And you saw players like Get Right trying to use him for a while. He said that the P90 was his new gun as well. You know, he's a bit trolly. But I don't know. Like, I don't know. You can just spam them, I guess. And they are pretty easily up close. So, yeah, good work from Christian, though. Nice little tag to start with. Going to get the idea of what VP are up to, but they're not going to go down without a fight. You can see them already very, very actively playing in towards this upper bomb side. It's a nice little wrap round towards main. And considering the map got changed, this area has now been lifted up a little. The entrance, you can now Mousey cleaner towards Rafters. You can challenge it better, but it's not gone so cleanly for VP just yet. It's actually down to the 2v2. Speedy's found a very, very good use for himself in this with that CZ. Chris J as well, still very relevant to this one. Can't land the shot. If he took Pasha's head off then, it could have been all game on, but now down to Speedy, who's very far out of this.
Yeah, again, you're a CT side. You want to try and suppress that T-side economy as much as you possibly can, especially after the pistol round is lost. This is not terrible for Mousesports. Granted, there was an investment into this round, as you often do see in round 2. We saw a scout, a couple of CZs in the mix. And ultimately, this will be shut down. Pasha finds Speedy as he tries to make his way out through radio. But this is fine. This is okay for Mousesports to start with. Yeah, Taz actually picked up the dual Berettas from LoL, I think, in the prior round, just for fun. We didn't see them come out. It's sort of, we're done with that one. Maybe it's because he also bought a grenade. Maybe he just wanted to spend all this money. It doesn't matter. Now Mousesports are going to be spending very little money in this round. An upgrade and a pistol here. Speedy going for the Zeus. Cool. I'm down with that.
I actually don't mind it. It's fine. If you can get a kill with it, why not? It's kind of a ridiculous
Plus, you
gun.
play up close somewhere. It's fine. That's the grenade. They're going to knock the door out here.
And Dennis with a really quick play. I actually like this play through ramp, just trying to pinch someone in. They found Snacks really easily. That's a gun recovered. Now, sadly for him, it's only the CZ. The rest of VP are just taking over the outside area. So kind of sending Snacks into the slaughter here, but now Mousesports are trapped.
Oh, that wide swing from Oscar as he came out. Pasha wasn't ready for that. The pistols getting some work done now for Mousesports.
Yeah,
Filthy.
They might have slightly moved away from upper here considering that, but Oscar's going to fight out from this corner. He has no armor, so longevity's a factor, but Neo's just going to spray through the side of it. He knows there's going to be a connection. Now it's a 3v2. Now, these have been costly rounds for VP. These aren't as clean as you'd like, but they're getting them on the board. And VP already have Neo on almost half HP, so this gets a little bit tougher if they do somehow find an angle towards it. Nice from Dennis, good control shown, and now it's just Neo. Can't get the shot done, and somehow Mouse get the job working in their favor. Around that probably shouldn't have been theirs, but I really like that ramp aggression coming in, catching off Snacks, trying to find themselves some sort of relevant position to the round, and they actually managed to do it.
Yeah, VP actually kind of took their time in that round, if you recall. A little bit slower. At least enough time for Dennis to be getting the flank through. No use for Speedy Zeus in the end, but he was more than happy to pick up an AK and keep rolling through with that. Good signs from Mousesports. The attempt to stabilize has paid off for the moment now. The AWP straight up for Pasha, though, is going to go in for that. Still decent rifles to be bought. Taz a little bit low on money, though, so I think it's just a Tech 9 for him.
Yep, Taz going to be suffering through on that one, but Pasha with the AWP. Get to have a little peep at that. Chris J running this one as well, so Oscar not on that. Might be map dependent. We know that Chris J does love a good AWP on this map, so I'm not too surprised. He's very, very diligent with it still. Dennis, you're dancing with danger, but he actually wins out against Pasha. Surprising that he was quicker on that one, but he takes the fight and he wins it. That's a big bit of impact early on.
Absolutely. AWP gets passed over to Snacks. There aren't enough, I don't know if there are enough smokes here for VP to actually get into secret without being spotted here. And Bialy looks down, doesn't see the player below him, and Chris J comes around the corner, point blank, delivers there with the AWP, but Snacks does chime in response. VP keep their head above water for now.
The windows are so shiny with the update. It looks really weird.
Yeah, I mean, it could be the setting. It's graphic setting, you know. No, they really are. They look, yeah. I don't know.
It's like
Frosted
player models
windows.
get really shiny as well in like in further away with the update. It's kind of weird.
I'm not sure why there should be incandescence on the window.
Don't know.
Okay, cool. Cool.
But yeah, Taz has been doing this almost every round. Getting up towards the up, you can't do that unless you make noise. Or you at least have to kind of run it. You can't walk and jump, I don't think. Prove me wrong, Taz. Nah, there we go. Has to have a little bit of speed to it, so he's got himself towards the upper area, but it's not the first time he's done this, so they might be slightly more aware of it happening. But again, good timing on the pinch could force trouble. Old
Check
vent
it,
now.
yeah.
Neo needs to check all the way around. He does, but gets caught out by a bit of a surprise from Dennis. Nice follow-up towards Taz. Can't quite close on towards Snacks.
He legs him.
Yeah, he did, but a leg shot isn't enough at this point. LoL will survive on 15, gets the AWP, and they stay relevant to this. Mousesports holding on, 2-2.
And it might have been there for Snacks as well. The more corners you check, maybe the more lax your crosshair placement can become, especially if half of you is not expecting someone to be there. That's the kind of situation where your crosshair placement has to be pretty sick if someone's going to be waiting around the corner like that. You can see he sprayed a few shots above the right shoulder of Dennis and was punished for it. So VP now down to pistols, nothing else. Let's see what they can get.
We all know this map gets a lot harder once the CT team does get that full utility beside them. Specifically the mollies, specifically things to deny early pressure towards Squeaky Door, towards, you know, the hut, things like this. Once that happens, it does become very, very tough. So VP just going to go an all-in ramp push at the moment. So Spitty I guess if you're going to pressure anyone, they found the right person, and he just crumbles under the pressure. Thank God Chris is there to at least catch one on the way down, but still, they've got to root through now.
Yeah, and this could be big. This could also be facilitating the plant here. There aren't many players for Mousesports down there, but Oscar seems to be enough in himself. Found a second there. I think Bialy tried to challenge out. Taz is the one with the AK at the moment, but yeah, no armor. It's fine. VP, though, really don't get as much as they would have liked for that round. There was no bomb plant. They took a one gun off Spitty. I mean, I think it does sort of... I don't know if it'll force a drop for him this round. Yeah, it does. So, okay. Yeah, not great for VP. Would have liked to do a little bit more, but now they can buy back in with those AKs. And go for some fast play.
You sticking on this? And I wouldn't be completely against it if they didn't have head armor, but VP, yeah, all right, lol. Show me
Chris J's
what you can do
AWPing this round as well.
You're going to get up close somewhere. I'm hoping he's going to rush something, try and play a really close angle. Otherwise, I'm not sure what he's going to do with it, but it's the others that matter. Dennis and Oscar are the one to provide openers to this round. Dennis, I love this spot from him. He plays it quite regularly. This kind of push towards T-Red on outer does find so much work with it. So again, good for him. He holds it. He makes basically the entirety of VP pause. The other two are stuck now. He gets caught trying to cross out of it. But Spitty's still here, just trying to keep tabs on this. He can play in the other players off the back of the information he finds.
This is fine positioning for Spitty there. I mean, he wouldn't have been able to get a trade for Dennis anyway. Dennis pushed onto the right side of the red con. That's out of Spitty's sight line. But see that? Quite easy for Spitty. Just pick up, have a shot, back away. Very Bialy-esque. Now it's Pasha. Chris J is going to be on the flank here. We'll need a couple seconds to set up with the AWP. Just goes for a quick shot. Pasha tries to chase him. Can't quite catch his heels, but he knew Lol would be there. But now he's down to 26 points of health. Wants to pop flash himself around the corner. That's the peak from Chris J and the kill completed. And Mousesports padding their economy a little bit more in these rounds. Good for them. They're going to need it. If VP can start the fire back into this game. But again, VP get reset. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Got 3K each to work with.
Wall of smokes towards...
Secret, get in there. Start banging heads in.
Maybe. We'll see what they go for. They're not exactly adverse to going outside. We've seen it a lot. So.
Ballsy, another rush in towards ramp room could be possible. Well, you might be right here, Lauren.
Yeah, we'll see. Bialy's out there, but you can see the players are in inner, so this might be actually a complete lie. We could be seeing a little bit of a different play. Maybe just keeping Mousesports second guessing. I'll let him get comfortable, but at the moment it'd be down to Speedy if they do go towards ramp. But Dennis just finding Bialy as a lovely little free touch there almost.
Dennis feels comfortable playing that part of the map, actually. It's even against superior numbers and odds. And Bialko is not able to get the better of him there. He didn't have a lot to work with. He had the Desert Eagle, though, so he was probably the biggest chance for that part of the map for VP, at least, anyway. So, stack in lobby. Might be a quick push through the smoke, but Oscar actually really reads the timing of this very nicely. Sprays down Pasha through the smoke. There is a vent dive coming. Neo falls as well. Oscar, nice read. Probably listening as well, hearing a bit of sound. Does Nax even get a bomb plant? I think they're going to have to let him have it. Bit of extra cash, but won't last long. And there it is.
At this point, good for VP to get the plant, something that we need, just get that little bit of an extra boost to their money, but
this Mousesports money is sick.
Yeah, it's really good. Now they've got a nice economy building. They haven't been particularly punished recently. So good stuff from Mouse. They can just stay alive on this. So you're already seeing a couple players sitting towards 10K, a couple over the top as well. Spitty doing nicely as well, just going to be farming up the cash. And all in all, Snacks now on the AWP this time, not Pasha. So a difference been made here. I wonder if he can make a difference with the AWP.
Well, it's the best thing about VP. They have that kind of flexibility to work with. Any given play or any given moment can pick up that weapon and do damage. Snacks wants a boost. Trying to surprise Chris J, who again is not generally the designated primary AWP, but some teams are doing it on a map basis, which is also totally fine.
An adjustment from Dennis. Something we see from FaZe, they do it a lot. A lot of teams now do it, pushing all the way up towards almost the silo here. He gets to hold the passive angle. I wonder how many he'll let cross, if he does, if he takes his time on it.
Or if there's a smoke getting put there and he just sprays it down.
See. They've got to check this sort of thing. Snacks has a look again, gets tagged, but no frag to follow. Good trade comes in. But Chris J is there and ready as well. Neo going to pick up the mantle with the AWP, but by now it's a 4v3, and VP are in trouble.
Chris J did really good to get a frag out of that situation. VP invested a couple of smokes there just to try and make it safer for them, and I think it was just a big old step back for Chris J to get the right angle. So Oscar now retreats into the lower levels. Neo gets pasted. And Taz doesn't know what to expect pushing out here. Smoke in his way. It's going to be a little bit annoying. Don't dare to spray it down. We saw what happened last round when VP tried to vent dive through the smoke. Not pretty.
No. New angles available as well.
Lol gets away with that one really easy. Yep. 94 health still after that.
Absolutely no worries for him. Pasha trying to find a route in, and he's having none of it. Mousesports playing so well. Trade was available for Taz, but he's put himself in the 1v3 with merely 17 seconds. He decides Chris J will be the one to take his life for him. So Mousesports stabilizing quite comfortably.
Yeah, I want a VP
rounds,
pause here.
And yeah, time to maybe discuss with VP as how they want to approach this, because it seemed to have hit a brick wall.
Yeah, VP, first of all, they're looking a bit sluggish, actually, especially in some of their early round play. Dennis is being a problem for them because he seems to have a good array of positions or ways that he can actually vary his approach to playing that red container. In that case, theoretically, he only got a 1-for-1, but Chris J was sitting right towards the back. In that round, Snacks actually got the boost up on towards the red container to see if he could spot out Chris J, but the smoke was just a little bit too much. So timing wasn't really there for Virtus.pro. But every time, they seem to get completely stopped in their tracks by some Mousesports player hiding in some corner or changing their position in some way. Little tweaks here are keeping Virtus.pro on their backs more than on their toes, if I'm honest.
Yeah, and in the last 2 games that Mousesports played on this map, it's been Dennis who's been actually, not necessarily the headliner, but a very good kind of provider on this. The game against LDLC still was at 22-19, and then against Kingwin, 21-15. So sitting on nice ratings, making good impact. And that's been pretty much ever since the adjustment from the Nico change. That's literally right on the cusp. The game prior to that against Astralis, he was on 15 frags to 23 deaths. So a big change there. But we've got the Kraken being unleashed. Maybe not the right skin, but the theory is still there. Oscar going to tap into that one, hope for a connection, but Snacks can ruin a lot of people's hopes and dreams here. Oscar going to readjust through the smoke. Brave play from him, considering Snacks could have been the one to get him done. But no, Oscar does come out the victor on that. Chris J now backs away from ramp. They lose control at upper. So now he's going to be waiting to see who comes through towards him. And it will be Bialy first to fall. And again, Mousesports ready and willing to take every fight they can.
Yeah, VP are just walking into them time and time again. The vent dive didn't work out well, again, but it was a small alteration for Mousesports. This time decided just to put a player down there. Neo sees the head, very quick reaction, and he's rewarded for it. Bomb plant right in this corner. In the interests of safety and time, I don't see many situations end really well from this position, but look at this. And Dennis and Lol had nowhere to go. If they wanted to go onto the bomb site, there'd be a Molotov in their way. Instead, they have to give themselves up to Pasha, who's going to be more than happy to acquiesce and have their scalps. And now the 1v2 for Smitty. Should see the head. The adjustment, though, was not quick enough. And Virtus.pro get around back, one that it looked like they were in deep trouble for, but Pasha dashing aside Mousesports on that lower side.
But it was mostly just Pasha. That didn't feel like VP had come up with a huge answer. It was just a swing up from Pasha just coming in when they needed it. Now, money's still good for Mousesports. Oscar opting to go on the UMP. He's sat on 9K at the moment, so certainly he can afford more, but maybe just feeling it works for him in this situation. I'm wondering why he'd go for that over an M4, but then again, it's CSGO, so why not just go for a 5.7 instead? It seems to be better than most rifles. So, on the other side, VP with a decent enough buy. Good utility here. It looks like maybe looking for that inner pressure coming in soon, or the upper pressure at the moment. Still a bit of play towards radio room. Speedy got to be careful to not overextend here, but so far he's been holding his own, and he does just that through the smoke.
Sometimes you're going to get those, and more often than not, Mousesports have had it done to them. I think back to the prior map, actually, where they had a lot of trouble with the smokes and getting shot through them. So Speedy can sit back in ramp room now. I don't really know if anyone from VP... This is how VP's rounds always start off. I mean, they're losing the first 2 kills of the round. I mean, last round it was Pasha that saved them. This time, that's not going to be an option. It's going to be someone else to step up. That just shouldn't need to be happening. More rounds is what VP is thinking about now. More rounds. They made their way towards ramp room. So Taz is going to drop down. Spitty already going to set himself up here. A little bit of a different angle for him. I don't mind that. Instead of just committing to dark corner and hoping for the best. We've seen some leg. Chris J doesn't quite complete the kill, and Snacks gets on towards Oscar. This doesn't mean the VP have climbed back into this round yet, but they have a chance.
Okay, now Chris J's got 2 targets. One's gone up, one's gone to the right, but Lol's gone and helped out. Taz falls, and now it's just Bialy pressuring towards Chris J, and Chris J's just buying time. He's little Dante has a little peek, and he gets taken down. Bialy keeps this round alive for now, but look at his teammate, Snacks, 4 HP. And now it's just Snacks, and just Snacks isn't going to do anything with it. This is looking so good for Mousesports, able to string together rounds, not losing too many players. They're going to keep the money up as well. VP, again, no money to sit beside them. It's constant here. This is a very tough game for them.
The money on Taz is pretty bad as well. Him and Neo. I don't know. Like, it seems like VP might have a plan on this T side when they push in, but once they lose 1 or 2 players, it's instantly into pug mode for them. Just trying to stay alive in these rounds.
But doesn't this just purely feel like online CS to you as well? You look at these 2 teams
Lauren,
coming
this whole
into this.
season's look like online CS. Mousesports were 8-2 coming into this. No, look, nothing against them, but there are a lot of results that maybe shouldn't have happened in this season so far.
Yeah, you look on paper, it's like VP you know, sick team on Nuke. Probably one of the best you could argue out there. Certainly a high point in the map pool. Mousesports only played it twice, really, set a 1-1 result on it. It's and this is what's happening. It's kind of crazy, but it's good for Mouse. I'm not completely opposed to it, but it feels like VP are lacking a little something here, if I'm honest.
And it's worth pointing out that the games that Mousesports have won upset, I'm using air quotes for this one, upsets against were actually really convincing score lines in their favor. I think it was North that Mousesports shellacked in a previous match. So that's the crazy part. And we look into Inferno and we're like, okay, Mousesports don't really seem like they're looking all that great. They played VP on the map, but now this is something different, something a bit extra. A bit special, perhaps. Money's looking decent for Mousesports right now. They can hang on for a while. VP needs to come up with an answer, and real soon.
Yeah, they do. I don't know what the answer is for them. You can see a couple of smokes towards outer. Quick smoke there to allow the cross. Oscar drops out the molly. I don't know how they're going to plan to get past all the utility that's been now nicely built up.
They've got that. They've got that wall of smokes up at the moment.
Yeah, they've got down to secret, so maybe this is a difference they want to go for. Try and negate the early presence, try and not lose out on those opening picks. Try and get some sort of map control. And I guess they got lower now. We do see Spitty waiting though. He's already adjusted towards control room, but he does take down Pasha with him, so I guess not for free. Mollies go in. Not sure if they wanted that double molly to the same position, but a quick flank comes out. Dennis now knows the full picture. It is a 3v3, but no bomb plant.
Oh, God, Chris J sneaks in with a P250. That's filthy. But VP managed to even the odds. That was a really nice response. Taz picked up that AK as well. He managed to put it to some use. And now it's LOL. 1v2. Piali with 3 kills in this round. The rounds of VP are winning are off the back of big individual performances. And this time it's Snacks and Bialy combined for 5. Beautiful. But also ugly at the same time, Lauren, because they really need to grind out and just kind of go ham in the last few moments of the round to win it. Yeah, whatever works.
They've worked down the Mousesports money at this point. You know, they've got them a little bit more humble, but they've still got a full buy coming in for Mousesports. They've opted again for that UMP. Oscar could have gone for way more, but VP have a decent buy. We saw that out here working quite well there, going out towards Secret, getting it all done.
A bit brawly in the lower.
Snacks now. This could be big. Molly's going to push him off the angle. Good approach from Oscar. Pasha, though, somehow finds Dennis. I'm not sure how that went down. Maybe Dennis trying to get some aggression going towards that T-Red again, but Oscar has adjusted, already eyeing up that push from outer. Comes back around. Got to be careful not to take too much damage through that door, but so far holding his ground.
Taz was looking for traces there. I think he saw them from Oscar. I think he could surmise that Oscar was sitting on top of Hut given the angle of them. I don't know if that really amounts to anything right now, except just a little bit of information. So, Neo, in towards Ramfrim. Always got to check that spot. It is filthy. Requires a boost, but still quite strong, especially with P250s and the like. Oh, okay. They want to wrap fully. Maybe even get some control of Heaven. Spitty is there. He's going to go looking. The rest of VP are checking that ramp as well, so they've got options open to them right now. Bialy doesn't spot Oscar in lower. Yeah, hard to see him on the angle. Really hard, in fact. So the X-ray made it a bit more obvious than it otherwise should have been.
Yeah,
one by one.
Just kind of taking their time. They want to see if anyone's going to try and play for a refrag, if anyone's going to try and push a little further. At the moment, they're fine. They're still good. They've got the mollies. But Oscar's position will get the info eventually. Oh God, what is that swing out? Gonna just take the flight nade, goes in, he gets damage done, but maybe could have done a little bit more here, but he's found the information, so the rest of Mouse can go on the rotate.
The only reason he was alive there was because it was Mousesports flash actually hit the front 2 of Virtus.pro. That would have stopped him from gunning him down immediately, I feel. Nice little piece, but not enough. And that was Chris J getting caught in no man's land there. Bomb down. Bialy finds him. Now Spitty and LOL have to put something together here. And he's going to head now towards observation. Doesn't even peek towards the top of ramp room. He knows there's possibly a player just watching that angle. So, might be a save here. We talked earlier in the round that Mousesports' money had been whittled down bit by bit by Virtus.pro. 8 rounds on the CT side, it's not bad, but VP now starting to come back into it a bit more. And while Spitty and LOL will have guns next round, the rest of Mousesports might not be so fortunate.
Yeah, and we talk about, I guess, specialists on that map, and it's not necessarily their CT side that always impresses, it's the T side. It's certain teams' ability to be able to kind of swing the map's bias to their favor somehow.
That was a hallmark of NIP on this map, especially.
Yeah, exactly. Astralis has a bit of a crown for it at the moment. VP normally has a good T side on this one, but we're not seeing a massive amount of it yet. This still seems a little bit here, there, and everywhere, but we'll see what Mousesports can do on theirs, because at the moment, they still have a nice buffer on this one. They're still sitting in a good advantage. If they close out the last couple of rounds, phenomenal half for them. Very, very good considering their current record. And Oscar going to take the AWP somewhere else. Going to head over towards ramp, maybe take a bit of a deeper pick. Have a little look down, see if anyone's there. Stacks on the other side, looking towards garage.
Yep, spots Dennison. He's not going to get away with that left swing out there. Even after the smoke being put down, he was a little bit too early. This is awfully aggressive from Oscar. He's really come quite a long way forward, and he's got Spitter to cover him here. If they at least get a one-for-one trade there, that'll be quite frustrating for them. Interesting way of using the AWP as well. Oscar, not bound by borders and logic at the moment.
And with Mouse doing this, they've gained so much real estate. Even though VP have the numbers, they can play around it and look at it. The push has worked out perfectly. Oscar's found
So
Relevant,
nice.
Spitty, and Chris J. So yeah, they kind of surrounded VP without VP even knowing at this point. And Chris J can be caught trying to retreat a little here. Bialy's already going to claim some ground back, but Snack's looking for any opportunity to try and get that score a little more even to a 2v2. Bialy going to be walking his way out towards the bomb as well. Two here, one towards Secret, and Oscar all the way out, just brazenly open the open. And he's going to find the final kill there as well in that round. Good work from them. Nice aggression towards Ram. Bit of a switch up there from those guys. Going with the AWP to that sort of close range elements. Terrifying, but it works.
I love it. I mean, Oscar gets into lobby and then actually goes back out around through T-spawn. I think he split with Spitty at that point. Really nice, and they took advantage of the fact that Virtus.pro were playing it a little too slowly. Chris J almost gave it up, to be fair. Scaling the ladder to heaven late round without information is always a bit of a risky thing to do, and you are going to be punished for that sometimes. But VP on rifles. Still got a bit to work with here. The utility's a little bit light. And it's the wall of smokes, and it's the group pushing towards Secret again.
Now, last time this worked out, not sure it's going to happen again because Oscar will see it all, though. That's enough for them, I guess, at this point. They saw the bomb, they saw the players. They should be able to respond accordingly, but VP are going to make it hard for them to rotate cleanly. They already have a player down here towards that decon,
I hate this spot.
Yeah,
It doesn't ever feel like it works.
No.
It's a death trap.
But we'll see how Spitty plays it. Pasha's watching with hawk-like eyes, but somehow doesn't spot him out in the corner. So Trey Dabba denies the plant instantly. Now, it's Taz's turn. Pasha's not going to let this round go, though. He's fighting tooth and nail for this.
Yeah, sharpest attack from him. You can see that, was it Oscar? I think had no idea where that came from. Was it Chris J? Yeah, either way. Dennis caught by Bialy. He comes straight out through the vents, and now it's LOL. Last round of the half, last chance for Mousesports, last man on the roster standing. And that bomb is a ticking. He's got himself a kit, and he plays that nicely. Bialy goes for the peak. Lol now looking for one more, but Pasha, another big round for him. 3 kills, and halftime comes up. A less than convincing VPT side, given kind of what we expect going into this, Lauren.
Very surprising. But again, they have the second half to play for. They did get the first 2 rounds towards the pistol, but didn't then continue the run. They got reset hard, Mousesports built up the money, and they ran with it. But all could change now coming into the second half after the break.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, here for Nuke, the second half. The first being a very interesting one. Mousesports coming out with some creative play, some interesting wide flanks, catching Virtus.pro off guard and generally messing up their tempo, Lauren. 6 rounds the Poles managed to establish on that T side. Can Mousesports do better?
I think that's the question of all on our lips. And at the moment, it looks good for them. If they get off to a good start, we could see something building here. I want to see an aggressive, diligent T-side from them, though. I want to see them punishing, I guess, what they were doing to VP. I want to see a little bit from them. I want to see that individual player. Dennis had a good start on that CT side as well for himself. He was doing fine. So I want to see that aggressive Dennis again, finding play towards the T side here. We want to see the AWPing coming out from Chris J or Oscar. They have to get these things operating at the right time. So I'm hoping for it. Where it happens is up to VP as well. Their CT side could be dominant if they get those first 3 rounds, even the first 2, if they'd be able to build up some money. It could be all over before it begins.
I actually think Virtus.pro's T-side was characterized, apparently, by them just not really knowing what to expect from Mousesports, not expecting really any of their moves, any of their positioning. They look very frustrated because they never seemed to expect what was being thrown at them. I'm talking about things like Dennis switching his position up outer, getting quite aggressive playing by Redcon. People like Speedy going on wide flanks, even on pistol rounds, getting into T-spawn and then working wide. Even Oscar doing that in a gun round. These are things that Virtus.pro clearly is not anticipating. It's catching them off guard.
No, it absolutely is. And it's surprising that's catching them off guard just purely due to the fact that it's not exactly an unknown thing they like to do. But let's keep eyes on what Mousesports do on their T side as well. Speedy's the one with the utility, smoke, flash, and a grenade. So he can set up the piece here for them. Might be just the nade down towards Squeaky, yeah. Smoke to follow, so just kind of keeps them guessing. They could always kind of pretend it's that ramp dive, keep people's eyes towards it, make a bit of noise, while the rest of them head towards ramp. But I think Pasha's already got a bit of a glimpse. No, he's been forced now to keep eyes towards the vent. And look what's right at the door. Great trades coming in. Chris J gonna find Pasha, and this is a nice little plan from Mousesports.
I mean, it's a real head of steam now. Mousesports are able to build up in this round. The one for one they can accept, and then Oscar pushes out and finds Bialy. So again, this is Mousesports interrupting Virtus.pro's cadence, their tempo, their flow, whatever you want to call it. They just don't seem to be able to set their feet. Chris J, that's a dangerous game to play. A bit of roulette there. Polish roulette, the nastiest kind. And Neo finds Speedy now. It's a 1v3. That was turned around very quickly. Now it's Oscar and Stacks. Shoulder peeks and the headshot comes through, but there's a heck of a lot for the Czechoslovakian to try and do, and it doesn't work out. Taz catches him off. And what a great way for Virtus.pro to start catching up rounds by winning the pistol.
Yeah, perfect beginning for them. And surprised that she pulled it off. I think Taz can be a big factor to that, but purely the way that Mousesports did that almost caught Virtus.pro unawares. You could see instantly Pasha considering those vents, instantly worried about it, and then, you know, there was Mousesports striking. But no matter what happens, VP can now get their buy-in, and they aren't messing around with this. Let's have a little look at what they're buying, if you don't mind. So they're going to go on, yeah, everything bought up here. You got 2 rifles coming in, the UMPs, but the more interesting factor as well is that Mousesports have bought up. They, you know, when you get the plant, often you can kind of forego that second round. You just go, all right, we'll go on that full buy on the third, but no, they're coming in on this one. So this could be the commitment to that vent dive. We'll see if they actually go for it. Flash to follow. It's not too smooth from Speedy, but it'll do the job. Snacks tries to position himself to receive this if they do go through it, but for now, Mousesports wait on the verge of hitting it. No more smokes as well available, so this should be go time pretty darn soon, and here it is.
Bialy gets caught. It's going to be Speedy pushing in, and the pace really paying off for Mousesports. Look at them pressure on towards this side. Snacks is forced to come up and show himself and fight in the open with the Mag 7. Far from ideal. And now Pasha's on his own. Spray on towards Lowell, connects. Now Mousesports really wanted to push him in that moment. They weren't able to. He backs away. That grenade doesn't catch at all. Still a chance here for Pasha.
He's baited out. I'm at Squeaky, right? And now he's just checking things out. Still got a molly, still got a flash. Just, is he going to run in with this one as well? Yeah, flash in underneath. In we go. 2 players on the side. This could be Pasha's. No! Speedy holds it together at the end for Mousesports. And I like that investment. It was risky for Mousesports, but it breaks the money of VP. And we know what the big strength on the CT side of this map is. It's the fact that utility is so damn good at locking down the T side no matter what. Now Mousesports have denied that for a good couple of rounds. Your double eco territory for 2 players here, Neo and Bialy. Almost no funding. Same with Taz. They have to just kind of suffer quietly through these. And Mousesports can start running with it unless something disastrous happens.
And this is Counter-Strike Global Offensive. It's pretty easy to keep your thumb on that CT economy if you're pressuring them, even with half buys or getting, you know, 3-4 kills in a round. You can make it very, very hard for them to actually have the decent arsenal to work with. And what they have done, they've got a flash for Snacks. That's it. Playing a little bit on the upper side here. These USPs can come in handy, but notice that Mousesports are making themselves a little scarce in this moment. Lol fancies a peek. Gives up a little bit of health for that. He does not want to give over his AK at such an early stage. But VP now turn their attention towards that inner bomb site on that upper side. Where are you going, Chris J? He's just checking, he's making sure. Now, both teams trying to stay in step with each other. We can see Mousesports head down to the lower side. VP trying to keep up.
Trying to, but not succeeding at this point. Overrun, overwhelmed, and, well, out of opportunities. 3 players remain, and they don't have much play into this round for VP.
This is looking pretty poop for the Poles at the moment.
Yeah. We'll see. Maybe they can get an exit or two, but that'd be, you know, a big benefit and kind of unlikely. But Mousesports need to start backing away from the site soon enough. Bomb's going to get a little deadly soon. And Bialy's off looking for possible victims. Taz going to stick around, try and do something, but Spitty hops in. No worries. And Bialy going to probably stay alive with just the USPS.
So there's some really good signs here for Mousesports. They're going to have 12 rounds on the board, likely, by the time that VP can really get themselves rolling here. Money-wise, oh, they can buy in this round. They can buy a little bit. That's fine. Bialy's a little bit skinned. Oh, they do it. They force. Okay.
It's just it's going to be really all over the place.
See, look at Taz. If he wants all that utility, right? If he wants a kit, he needs a CZ. That is okay. You can play outside of Squeaky here. You can play just by that vent. Try and do something cheeky.
You can play it on ramp as well if you get boosted.
Spitty flanked with it to outer and got 2 kills in
or you
there.
can just go aggressive. There's lots of options, I think, on this map with that sort of thing. Obviously, out is kind of out of the question unless you push up towards red, but...
Unless you're Timo Richter. You just want to go for it. Want to make a name for yourself.
There is always that. But outside of that, they've been able to cobble together something relatively decent purely because Pasha can at least get an AWP. So he needs to be quite integral in this, finding some bit of play here. But LOL clearing towards the outside area, having a look towards the garage. Doesn't even spot any of the feet, kind of just, you know, meandering around. Worried that maybe someone's pushed up towards that T-red area. No one really has, though. But Pasha playing over towards ramp, playing on the back of that one now. He could be under pressure, but the flash is a little bit later after Chris J peaks, maybe just expecting players to have already turned it, but he does get caught up by the AWP, and it does mean that ramp control goes over to Mouse, but there's still 5 alive for VP here.
I actually wonder what that would look like if VP had like a UMP or someone actually behind the boxes on radio be able to play that in tandem. They didn't want to this round, obviously, and Pasha just backs away here. Gets 1 kill, thinks, okay, we'll probably retake later on, but retake with 2 UMPs and a CZ is not really ideal.
Nah, but they've got Neo watching this, but he's been smoked out. So he's now going to either give away the position if he opens the door. He has. I don't know, you could open them back and forward. Huh.
Is that a thing? Or is that just a glitch?
I don't know.
Doors don't open like that, fam.
That was really weird. I've never seen them open like that. One goes forward, one goes back. They normally go, I don't know. Maybe I've been doing
because it's important. If they open inwards, then Mouse with the smoke can't actually tell the door's open. I think it's quite hard for them to see, depending on how whatever. They're a craft, right? Let Anders do that stuff. But VP now, Taz picks himself up for UMP finally. He upgrades after Chris J was felled. That's ticking along. VP need to act now. They've got to go quick. Taz comes in straight like a bat out of hell. It's going to be on towards Lowell and easy enough. Oscar's going to be cut off in the corner. Speedy goes down. The kit was on Taz. They can pick that one up. Or do they not need it?
They don't.
No, Snacks on the defuse there. Doing it the long and hard way. VP stay in it. They keep themselves afloat. Nice little, you know, blitz towards that site to finish the round.
Yeah, Dennis got caught off in a really weird spot then. I'm not sure what was happening with him. But yeah, this means a big turn of events for VP. They're back in at least some control here, but they can get reset. And obviously Mousesports well aware of that. Oscar going to be bringing out the AWP on this T-side. Full investment, no money left in the pocket now. But if they win this one, they send Virtus.pro all the way back. So big round for them to come up. Snacks on the AWP on the other side. VP's going to go and challenge out straight towards us. Deep flash goes in. Does actually catch him a little bit, but Oscar's playing behind Dennis and Spitty, so he won't be the first to peek, but he will be the first to fall. Snacks holds the angle and holds it well. And now 4 players from Mouse need to try and find their route in.
This slows Mousesports up. There's actually a gap in their smokes on outer as well, and Dennis was a little bit worried. I think he had to flash himself to get across. He's taking a bit of damage as well. Costly stuff for Mousesports. And only Dennis gets in towards Secret. So now they're no longer plowing in towards it as a team. They're going to leave Dennis maybe even outside, yeah, just lower in Secret as a pivot. Possibly a change they made on the fly. Regardless, they're down that 1 player here, and there's about a minute left in the round.
Looking at Mousesports.
Oh, the decoy even used here by Dennis. That's cute. Lower levels, I think you put it.
Yeah, in case this map was hard enough to, you know, work out where sound's coming from. Just way to go, Dennis. Thanks for being that guy. But this looks like maybe a burst towards upper. If Dennis goes flying up that ladder, he can just kind of hoon it out. But there's still Taz here as well. LOL's still around. I don't know where Mousesports want to end on this. And yeah, Dennis is coming up the ladder. And here we go. Yeah, Taz spots out 2 of them. And Bialy's being played in as well. This is a bit of a problem. Now, there is 1 player kind of amongst them, which was Spitty, but he doesn't get anything done. And now LOL's kind of late to the party. Neo gets caught out, unawares that he could have been in this sort of spot at this sort of point, because it doesn't really make that much sense. As maybe if they'd got the bomb down towards upper, he could have played off the back of it by... Now, though, a 1v4, it's time to just look towards keeping hold of that gun.
Yeah, I mean, he may have been late to the party, but now all he wants to make sure he can do is get his goodie bag of sweets to take home. That would be really important for Mousesports here is they're spending money. They're really putting cash into these rounds. I mean, Dennis has 2.4K, and that's the most. Oscar's brought down to nothing. So this is dangerous territory for Mousesports. There's no way that LoL wins this round. So they need to start planning ahead. They need to start planning for the eventuality that Virtus.pro makes it 10 to 11, if not more.
And the important thing about this round as well, or that round just gone, was the fact that Virtus.pro get 4 alive, which means 4 guns stay in rotation. They only have to reinvest in 1 and they can drop them out. So that means they get nice, you know, an more even economy to 1 degree. But the fact is that they're more stable in this now. And Pasha, going to be switching around. All right, they got the M4s, it's fine. And yeah, the other side, just LoL, of course, retaining that rifle there. He's going to be sticking on that. And the rest, P2 Swifties and a flash. So rough times ahead.
Yeah, so maybe again, wall of smokes, group out towards Secret. Ooh, it's a dangerous game for Snacks. They ain't afraid to play it. Surely at some point, that was a bomb being thrown across. So that really gives away the game to Virtus.pro. If they see the bomb being thrown across to Christray and then he goes in the smoke, VP should be responding now and be ready in lower. There's no excuse not to be setting up for something like this. Unless it was an elaborate ruse and Christray heads back topside. He's not, no. So Bialy and Christray, he backs away into the side. He knows he can wait on this because Pash is just wrecking Mousesports elsewhere. 2 headshots come through. Hello, Chris. Bye, Chris.
Yeah, the most you're hoping for or expecting in that is a sort of plant coming out, but they don't actually get that one going either. So LoL not able to find much relevance, but it does mean they can buy from this one. So
yeah,
that'd be fun. There's an AWP in play as well, so that could be over towards Oscar or Christian. I'm not really sure who's running the T-side AWP for these guys at the moment. It seems to be just kind of whomever picks it up.
Well, I don't know. Have we even really seen it?
Not much.
No, I think Christray was AWPing on the CT side, so Oscar on the T.
Yeah, it seems that Oscar, you know, last time he obviously lost out as well towards, it was Snacks last time, but now Pash is on the AWP. Bialy's going
Dennis?
incredibly aggressive, and yeah, Dennis might get a taste of his own medicine at this point.
Okay, actually it's going to be picked out. Spitty was there. A little bit of damage done, actually quite a lot. More than one person's worth of health was done. And Snacks is going to be there to get Dennis across the line. Not where he wanted to go, but it's not up to him. Spitty's very low on that AK. The bomb's dropped out in front of Mousesports here as well. That's nasty.
Yeah, it's why VP now have 3 players towards outer. You've got Neo here, Pasha here, Snacks as well, and then Taz just kind of like trying to fill the gaps that are required. They spot a bit of a glimpse then of one. You can't boost up when you've got 3 players facing you.
They've got flashes in the smoke, so this is potentially recoverable. It's just really awkward because it's...
Spitty! The floor is literally lava, Spitty.
Okay.
Get away.
So they could have gotten that bomb. The problem was that there was 2 sort of angles that they could have been shot from. One from Secret, one from the warehouse. And like, do we commit both smokes to getting this bomb out? To just go for one and try and get it? And do we take a risk by being shot? Oh, I love this from Snacks as well. You're never getting that bomb back, Mousesports. It's not happening. Oh, wait a minute. Oscar. Lol. Oh, through the grate. Snacks doesn't manage to find the damage there. And now he's got Spitty on 3 HP, but he manages to take the advantage. Great timing from Spitty. Whether he knew it or not, doesn't matter. It's a 2v2 now. Mousesports are on the salvage. Taz in the corner. I prefer this angle. I prefer it over the more passive one, as you need to react very quickly. And he sees Oscar. Sprays down, and that's Neo chiming in. Nice work from Virtus.pro and Mousesports. This is looking a bit dangerous. They're sort of bobbing up and down above water level here with their economy. And 3K, not so nice.
No, money's most pretty tight. They can buy up to 2K, so maybe a couple of pistols, or maybe they just forego that. They maybe want a little more, but I can imagine they'll get a little something going. Maybe a Deagle, a bit of armor, or a bit of utility. Yeah, just Deagles coming out. Nothing too much to write home about. P250s, nothing too exciting. But if they get some damage done, that'd be pretty interesting to see if they can find some of these Deagles. No Nico anymore, so it doesn't feel as dangerous with this lineup, especially in these rounds.
Good opening for Snacks. Dennis always the potential to be a danger man in these situations, but he's receiving pretty comfortably. Lol, the next to go down. Oh, okay, Christray turns that around. Pistols, though. Thing is, a VP are in a pretty decent economical situation. Actually, no, it went to pretty close last round. Yeah, they're fine. Losing a gun here is okay, is my point. And Virtus.pro happy to give some ground. Let Mousesports hang themselves with their own rope.
That's the thing, like, it's so dangerous playing against pistols these days. You can just get one tap to the head, which is just
P250's
so
headshot
ridiculous.
damage is bonkers.
Yeah, especially up close. So, Spitty now tasked to try and do some damage, and the task fails. 4 alive for VP, holding ground and staying very much in a good spot. Look at the money building up on Snacks too, so he's looking real good for it. Neo as well, nice bit of money beside him. Taz not far behind. On the other side, it's, you know, round by round basis. The problem is they've now lost a little bit of the lead.
Pasha's had a great game as well. 23 and 17 for him. Definitely been the stand-up performer. Dennis had a really good first half for Mousesports. He's come a little bit quiet now. He really liked being able to play aggressive on outer, but this time he's been forced into some different positions. Lol, straight through, vent dive, untouched, nicely done. Has an AK as well to run with. There was actually a VP player above him. That's Stacks, I think it is. Was it Taz? It is Stacks. He's not committing to it yet. This is going to be awkward. Who shoots first? That's the question. Taz backs away from Annex. Just going to give it a little bit of time here. Virtus.pro, there's definitely a sense of them waiting and being pretty patient about this one. Mousesports getting a little bit impatient. That bomb has dropped loose, and that's that little fake that we started to see a little bit from Spitty and Oscar in the previous half. VP can do it just as well, and it was going to be 2 for Neo, 2 for Pasha in the round.
Yeah, we haven't actually even seen Pasha doing it that much either. So him kind of adjusting this late in the game makes it even harder for them to read that. You don't, predict those sort of things. And for Mousesports, you've hit that wall now. You've hit the wall of, okay, well, we let them get close. We got to that kind of 11-11 marker. And then VP have just kind of run away with it. They've got decent money now as well. They're starting to get that really robust phase where they could just grind out the last couple of rounds unless Mousesports try and build something up now to try and get them off that decent amount of money.
Seems like Mousesports had a similar problem on the T side on Inferno. I think they tried a couple of things once, like the balcony dive over towards that A site. Attempted getting control of B, and then they sort of kind of defaulted into just attempted a mid take and didn't really use much of second mid at all. But where do you go from here as Mousesports? Where does your creativity take you? I mean, you can smoke that out. I mean, this round they've got money. Like that loss bonus is ticking along. So Spitty especially has like 5.3k. So there is, you can force into this. You can try and make something happen. Again, if you're losing rounds, even max round loss bonus isn't going to allow you to buy fully, maybe unless you get a good bomb plant or something like that. Like, it's still not quite enough. Still forces you onto UMPs, sometimes even CZs and scouts like that. You still need to make a round happen with that weaker buy.
They do have to try and make something happen. I don't know. I don't know with Mouse. Their CT side was fine, but you always felt there was going to be a bit of a problem with this when eventually push came to shove, and they just don't maybe have the depth on this map that VP do, at least on VP CT side. They've got they've got control of the money now. They've got that economy in their pocket. So for VP, it's time to just grind it out, right? It's just going through the motions at this point, and they're finding it. They've got more to show as well. We haven't seen like crazy aggression on this map. We saw Pasha just last round though pushing up towards Radio, which was really, really nice. I like that occasional kind of dabble in towards it. We haven't seen that Dennis style push towards outer as much. We saw it for a couple of rounds. We saw them try it out. So again, there's a lot to be shown for this. But Mousesports going in on the buy here with whatever they can do. Tech-9's galore. A little bit of a rifle for Spitty. Did have the higher amount, so not too surprising. And Pasha again on the push. Maybe just starting to really read what VP are up to. Maybe not expecting people to be holding Radio actively. Why not? If you're feeling it, go for it. And at the moment, he seemed to have had the right read recently. But Mousesports are applying the pressure towards the outer area. Smothered in smoke, though. This is very hard to read. But Dennis somehow finds rooms to operate towards the upper site. He does get a gun for it as well. But there's still a player among them. Taz is there. But Dennis single-handedly doing the work. Player towards close next. And Dennis strikes again. That's 3 for him. And the round might just be theirs.
Bialy, though, will make it a 1v1. He's turned things around. 7 smokes, by the way, were down at the start of that round, so it was absolute chaos, and now the bomb is down. Dennis via Bialy. He's already got 3 kills in this round. Bialy knows he's dicing with death, but he wins it out. That's got to hurt. The back of Mousesports may well be broken, and it wasn't a mousetrap, just a sneaky pole. Oh, my lord. Nicely done to turn that around, and that's frustrating for Dennis. That one round, you feel like you're stretching your legs, you're making an impact, and it comes so close. Only to lose that round out. Money's still there for Mousesports, though.
Such a shame as well. The one shot that you kind of say, like, come on, I've got this, and it just slips. But a valiant attempt from Dennis, but sadly to no avail. But at the end of the day, it's put Virtus.pro to a great position. 14-11 now. Money's still great in their pockets, of course. Mousesports, however, can at least buy into this one. I want to see something different. Show me what you got here, Mouse. I want to see maybe a quick hit, something. But then again, how do you get past that utility? How do you work around that? It's not easy. Maybe they can punish Pasha for pushing up here. Chrisjay could be in an interesting position soon enough. They're both waiting for this one. Spitty finding Taz might encourage this. I wonder if Pasha's going to take the bait, because it feels though maybe a tasty morsel waits around the corner, but incredible restraint shown. Pasha backs away, and Chrisjay encroaches.
Okay, he knows where Pasha is now. Pasha doesn't realise that Chrisjay has seen this one, but still adjusts his position to expect that. Oh, I like this. Oh, he shows himself, so this could be a bit nasty now. Yeah, Pasha, good on him. He backs away, gives up a bit of ground. Younger players, more fiery players, sort of try to challenge that one anyway from a disadvantaged percentage-wise. Vanessa's Chris J goes very low. Now the Molotov. Oh, one ticket, it's enough. Neo makes himself a bit of a barbecue. Dutch style, the real good style. Even the cheese on the grill, that's what they got going on. 2 players left for Mousesports.
Dennis and Spiddy trying to play out of this, and you can see Pasha backed away from that because he knew players like Neo would have his back straight away, expecting it, and there it was. So good little support system between the Virtus.pro boys, and what are you going to do, Dennis? You got Neo circling above you, and well, just accepts his fate, just accepts it, just like, not like this. Spiddy though, 8 HP and not much of a hope nor a prayer at that point, as it is now 15-11. Virtus.pro on the verge of closing this one down. And it looks like maybe Mousesports running out of anything to run with here. Money's still there, they can get a buy going, but it doesn't feel as though that's even helping them at this point.
This is like the classic full round loss bonus, but just lost a couple round situation. This is kind of what the ideal. This is the ideal we can get with their bomb plant. So let's see what Mousesports can make work with this. But it seems like Mousesports, when they're forced into a position where they kind of have to be the playmakers, they get maybe even a little bit default, a little bit stock standard. It's Virtus.pro that can start getting creative now on the CT side just by taking some educated risks. Mousesports did the same thing on their CT side that worked well. Let's see, Taz gonna have to be ready for this one. Chris J goes forward, he actually doesn't see Taz, who's still in the corner. He finds Lol, backs away inside the hut. Bialy finds a second.
How is Chris J here? What is going on? How has he got this far and not been found? He will be caught out eventually, but it was kind of one of those weird situations of, how did you manage to get behind that?
The smoke was there. I don't think Taz even saw him because he was flashed at the time. The smoke just on the outside of Hut as he pushed down towards the side didn't help him because he lost the player behind him. What's that, Spiddy? Bit of a flash. Kind of gives him his position away here. Yeah, Neo puts that one to bed. Virtus.pro get themselves a 2-0 in the night. Mousesports were hoping for a 2-0 of their own to really set them up for the playoffs. But now, as the lights, the cameras, and even the casters are on them, Mousesports falter. They'll need to pick up a few more games going forward. But for now, VP looking very, very good and continue to climb the ladder. Lauren, let's head over the desk and have them break down the match that was Nuke.
Yes, a little bit closer. Looks like Mousesports has put some work in on Nuke because they put up a good fight there. But I mean, if any team was going to have the cushion to give up those 2 matches, it is Mousesports currently sitting in first place. They've probably dropped, and you don't want to give up that cushion, but it is a nice luxury to not be sunk out of the playoff picture.
Yeah, I mean, they go to 8-4, so they have now caught up in most, not with most teams in how many games they've played. They've played 12 now. Issue is that their schedule doesn't get any easier, so this win over VP was big. I think they still have another one coming up against Na'Vi. Sorry, would have been big, I should say.
Yeah.
But look at the difference it makes already. It drops them down to 2nd, and you can see now they're the cat amongst the pigeon because exactly, if they went to 10-2, they'd be still in a great position. They could fall completely out of the playoffs in no time if they don't continue to win.
A really calming effect watching VP. Even when they're behind, it's like, yeah, they're still going to come back. And like, they weren't down by a lot, right?
Yeah.
That first half, that 2v5 by Pasha and Neo, that was great. Pasha had a great game. Snacks had another good game. Bailey dropped off a little bit, but, you know, when you have someone else getting 27, 28 kills or whatever it was from Pasha, that's fine. Yeah, it's just nutty the form that this guy's found himself in again. And they've been playing Counter-Strike for such a long period of time to still be playing at this caliber for all those years. I wish I could have done that. I bet you wish you could have done that.
Well, I bet you could have done that for a week.
Wouldn't have been bad.
Played good for a week.
Sorry.
Maybe I had one or 2 good practice
It's just
weeks.
unreal.
Yeah.
It is
That kind
unreal.
of savagery is not needed on my desk, Matt.
Oh, your desk.
Yep, it's mine. It's mine.
Someone's got an inflated ego.
But no, so now we have VP. I mean, this is now, I mean, Nuke, it's nice because they did face some adversity early in this map, but I mean, Nuke is just one of those maps that we know VP on, they can always fall back, like the old reliable. We know they're that good on it that despite, sometimes VP online is a little bit dicey, a little bit sketchy in how they play. Nuke is a map that they seem to still be able to maintain form on.
And that's good to see, you know, if it's a staple in their map pool, it's strong in the sense of probably like, teams were picking it up slower. Now we're seeing a lot more teams on it. If it can stay as one of their consistent maps, it's good because I think it'll start transitioning, not away from Nuke, but that's going to be slowly dropping down the pegging order because that was one of our, becoming one of the most played maps. I think that's going to start dying off now a little bit. Yeah. Hopefully, like we talked about last night, we see a bit of a resurgence of Keish. Whatever you guys want to call it.
Sorry,
I don't really care.
clarifying.
Inferno as well is hugely popular.
As if
Yeah.
that has to be a discussion every time the word is said.
It does.
We're gonna leave it on that. When we come back, it is gonna be the excitement, the hot match of the week. It's gonna be FaZe taking on Astralis, a rematch of the IEM Katowice Grand Finals. You do not want to miss that, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.